I am Sayali. I've founded two startups in India, one in content space that we shut down in a year, and one which was in the fintech space that we built out for more than 5 years and then sold to a larger global fintech player. After the acquisition, I stayed for some time and then I left the company. And since then, for the past 18 months or so, I've been engaged with several younger startups who are just starting out as an angel investor as well as an advisor and so on. I wanted to predominantly contribute to some of the founders who are in the early stage of their journey, because I did get a lot of help from my friends and partners and all these people as we were starting out. So I wanted to do that for some founders who might not have a large network to start with, or who are starting out with complex products and just needed somebody to soundboard off some ideas, etc. So that's how I started, and I found it to be a very enriching experience, as I've learned a lot from these founders as they're building products. And that was a reason for me getting into this, right? So I've worked with different communities as well, like the Fintech Yatra community, as we interact with many startups, as well as a lot of founder friends and friends who they then bring along as founders. I have a large community of fintech folks in the US as well that we invest together as a syndicate, and I lead that with a couple of really good friends of mine. It's called Amara, and we do that. So I think from a US perspective, from an India perspective, working with these communities and then investing in startups, as well as a lot of angel investments that I do on my own, have taught me a lot of things about different founder journeys and how they are growing out products in India. The one thing is that many startups don't start with a network that they can tap into. Some founders have worked in startups before, or have worked in, or come out of colleges that have ready-made networks that they can tap into multiple VCs and angels and accelerators and get started. But many founders from many corners of India who are building do not have that to start with. So I think this is a great initiative that Yatra has to bring all these people together, and they have some place to at least start. So I think that's a great thing. But otherwise, I feel that many founders building good products also reach out on LinkedIn and Twitter and everywhere else and introduce themselves. And that kind of hustle also pays off many times, where you reach out to the right investor and that might be working out for you. So there, I think founders need to think about the founder-investor fit as well, right? If somebody from your space is active, is responsive on some particular media, then you reach out to them and that also pays off. Then there are these kinds of accelerators and others where you can be a part of it and even learn from that startup journey and go on. See, as an angel, what we try to look for in a company is that does this set of founders have skills to build that? So the founder problem fit, like, is it the right problem for that founder to attack and solve? Because I know from my personal experience that you have to stay mission oriented towards that problem continuously, relentlessly for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. So I try to look for that, like, does this founder care about this problem to that degree, and are they the right founder to solve that problem? Then there's also a founder market kind of fit, right? That is this founder going to be able to grow in this market, right? Somebody who has never been anywhere outside India, are they going to be able to develop a B2B SaaS product that they're planning to sell in the US? Do they know how to sell in the US? So there's a founder market fit of what you're doing, where are you going to sell it, and so on. Then there is a team kind of thing, right? I'm looking for the founder skills, I'm looking for what they bring and what are their complementary skills, who are they able to hire, because a key skill of a founder is to bring people along on the journey, and I try to look for that. Can they inspire people to come along? Can they pull talent of the right caliber to be able to build out this mission, so on. And we also look for what have they done so far, right? Of course, there are many founders who are experienced and then the ideas themselves get funded. But for many others, we like to see some initial work, initial traction. It might not be like revenue already or something, but what have you been able to bootstrap and do? Like, if you are building out something, you would have done something, right? In the weeks or months that you are on that problem. So those are the signs of what is your willpower to do it, what is your skill level to do it, and all of that, and kind of look for those initial signals. Now, from the companies or startups perspective, I think they should look for the angels who could help them. I think angels is never going to be enough money to really take your company forward. You should look for funds and early stage VCs for that. But what startups can look for is that angels who can help them in their journey, right? So sometimes the angels help because they are a certain level of a brand name themselves. So if a certain person is investing money with you and that person carries a brand, that's a signal in itself that helps that startup go forward. Sometimes it's somebody from that space or somebody that you personally understands you as a founder or personally understands the product you're building and all of that. So for various reasons, if you find an angel that fits your journey, then the reason to get that angel is to talk to them about, like, can you help me out? Are you going to be able to give me time? This is what I need. And have that discussion and then bring them on as an angel. I think there should be some clarity about why you're bringing on any angel whatsoever. I think when startups approach angels, they should be very clear about why that angel, why that early stage startup, how are they going to help and all of that. Because I know some early stage startup investors are actually building out communities where not only does the early stage VC help the founder, but they also bring that founder community together and accelerate their journey through all of the partners they have, through all of the LPs, through all of that. And maybe that's the right fit for that startup. And some startups may be building from here for a different market altogether, then maybe they should get people from that market on the cap table to make sure that you get some help and direction about where you're going. So it's all about the fit, I think, and that's what the startup should be looking for. Many times founders get disappointed because they expect a certain thing from an angel and that does not happen. But maybe they did not establish the clarity and sometimes things will still not happen. Maybe the angel is very busy doing whatever they're doing, right? So I think banking on an angel to be a co-founder level engaged person is not the right way to go. See, one, it's about what kind of value you think the angel is going to add in changing the trajectory of your business. Are they really going to make sure that your business is taking off at another level and so on? So it really, what is your belief the value the angel is going to add? And second is optionality also. Like, do you have tons of people willing to give you money? And in that case, then you have your choice and then you figure it out. So I think it's a question of every outcome is a negotiated outcome of what are the options you have. So I think it's case by case quite different. Yeah. Anything. I mean, it can be anything. I think I've interacted with some founders where it's like deeply personal and their personal struggles and it's very deep to a personal level sometimes, and maybe that's what they need me for, and they've got the product part figured out. Sometimes it's about partnerships and which partners to take, how to negotiate, what are good ideas commercially, this, that. Sometimes it can be about org and culture, like, I'm having trouble with my team and I want to build this way and that way, and how do I and they want to just soundboard some of these troubles that they're facing along the way. And sometimes it changes, right? Like sometimes it changes from like product market fit issues to org issues to something else, and then funding round, and then what do I do with this funding round? I don't understand these terms in my term sheet, and can you help me with that? It can take various forms. It really depends on the founder's relationship with that angel and what the angel is also willing to contribute towards and can contribute towards, right? So again, it varies from angel to angel, from founder to founder, but many times it mainly helps like a sounding board as you go through different milestones in your early journeys. And I think many times what happens is that once the startup just takes off at a level, then maybe the interactions reduce to key milestones, like, I have a fork in the road, do I go this way on a product or that way on a product or a GTM? And then you need some sounding board kind of interaction with an angel who's usually, for many startups, a founder who has been through that before, or an investor who has seen some rounds, etc. So might just ask for advice. So I think the interaction develops over time and can go through anything, like it can be about anything.